What's up, guys? Today we're going to go over inoculating a couple grain bags that are sterile from liquid cultures. So right now I'm just hosing down with 70% isopropyl alcohol. It's best to keep everything you can soaked in that. I'm going to be using a filter fan unit here, but this is basically exactly what I would do if I didn't have that as well. Just keep everything as clean as possible. I'll respray my hands multiple times every time I touch anything, just to make sure they're as sterile as they can be, or as disinfected anyway. So I hose down the syringe. You don't really need to do that, but it's just kind of habit for me to just soak everything. So now we're going to get the needle out. The needle came sterile, so we're not going to worry about hosing that down. If you get one that's wrapped and sterile, there's no reason to spray alcohol or flame it or anything. It's good and sterile from the factory. So take it out, give it a little squirt, and then that grain bag, we're just going to stab it right through that injection port. And since this is liquid culture, I'm just going to plunge the whole syringe in there. If you're using a multi-spore syringe, you don't need to use the whole thing. It's actually usually best if you don't. 3 to 5 cc's would be more than plenty in that situation. So liquid culture, you can use less. I just use more because it's abundant for me and it's not a big deal. So whole syringe will get more liquid culture in there, which will get things going a little quicker. So that was the first bag. We're going to set that out of the way and go for the second here. So same thing with the second one. I fold the bag back over to keep everything out of the way, just so I don't need to mess with that part. It's pretty simple to do if you're using these 3-pound bags, which is my preferred. These are sorghum, which is also my preferred grain. It's basically all I'll grow on. So hose everything down again. This one you'll notice I did not hose down that syringe, which, like I said, it's personal preference on that one. I think I got sidetracked on something and just forgot to do it, but it won't matter. So sterile syringe needle, take the top off, get rid of the top, and then we're going to pop that needle on. Kind of one of the biggest things is efficiency with all this. Make your movements count. Don't try to hang out and just do stuff for the sake of doing stuff. Be sure everything's ready when you get to this point so you can get the needle uncovered, especially if you're not using a fan filter unit. If you're just in open air, you want to, get that needle in the bag and get that culture in the bag as soon as you possibly can and as quickly as you can. The less exposure to open oxygen, the better. And it'll also probably increase your chances of not getting contamination. So that's all done. I believe I'm popping up right now to grab a roll of micropore tape, paper tape. This is the Walmart brand. You get a couple rolls of this stuff for like $3. Awesome to have around. No, I used a little tiny piece of this tape just to cover up the injection ports. It's an optional step. You don't need to do this, and you definitely don't need micropore tape. 3/4 of the time I'll just use blue painter's tape, frog tape if you got that. It's a little more expensive. I wouldn't waste the frog stuff. It's for them extra crispy lines on your walls when you're painting stuff, but the blue stuff is cheap enough and you'll probably have that around your house. So the blue stuff's fine. Scotch tape's fine. Literally anything's fine. It's just kind of a fail-safe. You really don't even need to do it. In a perfect world, that self-healing injection port's going to seal itself back up and everything's going to be fine. It's just an extra precaution for me. So writing the strain and the date on these bags just so I can kind of keep track of all that stuff, and everything will be good to go from there. That's basically it. We're going to be doing a multi-part series. We're going to follow these bags from this point all the way through harvest. So I will be uploading more videos and giving you guys more content as soon as I'm able to. Thanks for watching, guys.